Hello, I'm Alex and I'm on the Archer and Olive Ambassador team. Today I'm going to share with you some ideas for your journal, and we're going to look at creating a fun bingo page. These pages could be used for some self-care, some goal setting, or even just to make the to-do list more fun and achievable. We often rely on our journals for productivity, but have you created pages just for fun? For more on these pages, please take a look at the blog post on the Archer and Olive website. There you will also find a printable of the bingo layout to save you time creating your own. Remember to subscribe too for similar tutorials and inspiration. For today's pages, all you really need is a journal and a pen. A ruler is useful too. This is the Archer and Olive planner stencil, which I'll be using as a ruler. I will also be showing you how to use coloured paper from the Archer and Olive notepads. This is the pastel notepad. And I'm also going to use some craft paper in my pages. I'm also going to add some colour using the Archer and Olive calligraph pens. These are the everyday pastels colours, which will be perfect for today. They act like a highlighter, so allow us to still see the text through the colour. I will be using both an A5 and B5 journal. As you'll see, both have advantages for these types of pages. So firstly, in my A5 journal, I'm leaving space for a header. Then I'm going to measure out the spacing for 25 little squares on this page. Remember, there is a printable to save you time, available on the blog on the Archer and Olive website. So I've just created a faint grid layout, which I'm now going to pencil in the squares. I'm going to give them round edges because I prefer that from an aesthetic point of view. So I've created 25 little squares on this page. This is an A5 journal, and I'm going to use the Archer and Olive fine liner to add in the mundane household chores that I would need to complete in a week. First off, we're going to create our title. For this, I'm going to use the broader end of the calligraph brush pens. This is the flamingo red colour. And I'm just going to call it Housework Bingo. So I'm now going to add in my chores for the week. So here I've added all the pretty dull chores that I do on a weekly basis. Every time one is completed, we can take a colour from our calligraphs. The broad brush side of the calligraphs will be best for this. And then we can shade in. Obviously by the end of the week it would look very colourful. You may want to create one instead of weekly tasks for monthly tasks, as obviously if it takes time to create and you fill it in a week, it might be something that's not attainable to do weekly, so monthly might work better for you. Archer and Olive have some fantastic washi tape and stickers on their website, so take a look there. I'm going to use these with a touch of orange to match our title. Washi tape and stickers are a really quick and easy way to add decorations to your journal spreads. They really help me to keep creative. So let's pretend I've been really productive today. Finally cleaned the oven door, tidied the playroom. So there we have it. Housework Bingo, a way to make your housework and the mundane tasks you need to do a bit more fun. The B5 journals from Archer and Olive offer more space. We're going to use this space by adding in coloured paper to create a bingo page. I've used the pastel dot grid notepad from Archer and Olive taken out some pages to cut up squares, and I've done the same with a craft notepad. I'm going to add them into my journal to create a decorative bingo page. One of the things that a bingo page really works well for is self-care. It may be something that you want to focus more on for yourself during a month. Perhaps you're a busy mum and celebrating Mother's Day, wanting to tick off some self-care. So I'm going to use these coloured squares to create our self-care bingo page in this B5 journal. Firstly, we're going to lay out where we want them to go. So once we've laid all these out, we're going to stick them down, use this sticky roller. Okay, so here we have our coloured squares from the Archer and Olive pastel notepad, and there's 20 in total. I've left space up here for the header, and then we're going to think of 20 self-care ideas and add them to these squares. Then every time you manage to fit one into your week or day, you can tick them off. By the end of the month, hopefully, you'd have a full set. I'm going to use this pink calligraph for the title, the broad brush end. When I'm lettering, it's easiest to get the placement right. I start with the middle letter. Now, obviously, self-care and how you spend your time on self-care will be different for everyone. So make this very personal to you. I'm going to fill in a few examples now. Okay, so I'm going to use this lovely black Archer and Olive ballpoint pen to add in things that I feel is self-care to me, starting with journal time. As I've got older, I've realised that self-care isn't doing my nails or going to the spa. Sometimes it can just be as much as drinking enough water for the day or making sure I actually eat breakfast. So there we have my self-care ideas. Obviously, everyone's are different. This is the type of page I would create near Mother's Day. Something to aim for that week or month. Self-care bingo. So the last bingo page I'm going to create is a goals bingo. There are so many different ways that you can set goals that you wish to achieve during a week, a month or a year. A bingo page with achievable goals can be a fun way to help remember goals and targets in your journal. So it's not too overwhelming. I'm still in my B5, but I've just created 12 squares for this bingo page. I'm going to use craft paper. So again, we've got 12 squares. I'm just going to stick those in, and then we're going to think of our title and set our goals. So for the title here, I've got lots of space. So I'm going to use the flamingo red calligraph again, and we're going to call it Bingo Goals. So here I've added some realistic goals. I haven't been too specific about time frames. I'm going to add some stickers as decoration. Sticking with an orange theme. So this example here would be relatively long term. Once I have achieved something, I would cross it off. For example, drinking more water, if that's something I'm regularly achieving every day, every week, after an extended period of time. Hopefully that would help me to keep consistent. So here we have our 3 examples of bingo pages, something fun to create in your journal. Goal setting, a self-care bingo page, and a more practical housework bingo page. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget to take a look at the blog on the Archer and Olive website, where you can find more information about creating these pages, including a printable to save you time setting up your own bingo page in your journal.